For this theory competency, I wanted to discuss a theory that I actually discussed in my last application log, which is communication privacy management theory. Communication privacy management theory, or CPM, pertains to one's level of managing their own privacy. This theory was developed by Sandra Petronio, a communications professor at Indiana University. She developed this in direct relation to Altman and Taylor's social penetration theory regarding self-disclosure and what we choose to share with one another. It's broken down essentially into three parts and comprised of privacy ownership, privacy control, and privacy turbulence. Privacy ownership refers specifically to information in which we know but that others are not privy to. It's information that only we are aware of at the time. Privacy control pertains to our choice of who is privy to what we categorize under that privacy ownership, who we choose to share that information with, and who we choose to disclose that to is all under the realm of privacy control. And finally, privacy turbulence has to do with the handling of information when our intentions of how it's supposed to be handled are violated. For example, if you tell a friend a secret and you tell them this is to remain a secret, and they turn around and tell their friend or their boyfriend, even though they may relay that importance of it remaining a secret to them, they've already violated their level of privacy control and yours as well, because you chose to share that with them and they violated it. This is an extremely important topic in communication as a whole, because it really lays out the groundwork for the overall scheme of how the transfer of information works through communication. Once someone is in possession of information, it's completely at their discretion how they choose to handle that information. A key factor of all communication is the degree of sensitivity in which that information is. So, for example, what information you have and what it pertains to, who it pertains to, is it sensitive subject matter, things of that nature. If it's a topic of common knowledge and one that seemingly has no consequences associated with sharing, it's likely that that piece of information will be handled more carelessly and discussed more liberally than a piece of ownership or a piece of information that was regarding a very sensitive subject that only needs to be known by that specific person in possession of that information. In scenarios like this, privacy control and ownership is a key in order to avoid privacy turbulence and avoid having information shared that is not supposed to be shared among others, but rather just between the two people that it involved. For example, if a friend shared with you a very difficult time she was having with her boyfriend or an eating disorder she was struggling with, that's clearly a very personal and sensitive topic. And one that you are likely not to share with the masses, and that's specifically shared with you due to a certain level of trust y'all have built through your own personal relationships. However, if she tells you about an amazing vacation she had somewhere, that's not really anything that you need to really consider your privacy control aspect of it, because you're likely to share with others the great things you've heard about that destination or things of that nature. My critiques of this theory, my first being in regards to privacy control. Petrino describes privacy control as the engine of privacy management. While I'm able to understand that concept and the reasoning behind it, I disagree with this assessment. I think before one is able to address the privacy control part, one must fully grasp the importance of privacy ownership. When in the realm of privacy ownership, the only ones privy to the information are you. While you own it, it is yours. This is the step in which one is able to assess the sensitivity of the subject matter and judge and discern to whom, if anyone, it's appropriate to share. This is the level in which you avoid the need for privacy control and the prevention of privacy turbulence. My second critique of this theory is in regards to the description of CPM as a rule-based theory. A rule-based theory assumes that we can basically best understand people's freely chosen actions if we study the system of rules they use and interpret to manage their own personal lives. But however, I feel that communication is far too broad to assign one set of specific rules, because having them apply to each individual person isn't capable of working because of the broadness of many scenarios. Because there's such a vast range of communication around the world, there can't be a set group of rules to discern communication and one's intention to distribute information. CPM, pardon me, is what discerns how we handle information and to whom we share it with in order to avoid privacy turbulence. In this day and age, CPM is becoming part of our life that is less and less controllable due to technology and social media. Information we don't intend to be shared can be shared with the world in a mere matter of seconds. Because of this, it makes it to where one needs to be very careful about their own privacy, ownership, and what they choose to put out to the world. What it really comes down to is controlling which platform, or the platform in which you choose to share information, while also controlling who you choose to share that information with on these platforms. And privacy turbulence, the privacy turbulence that is possible today could very well be far more severe than in previous generations because of the technology and social media we have. It can take a matter of minutes to become a headline due to mishandling of information.